Are you somebody who's always looking for feedback for whatever you do? And sometimes when you get feedback, true feedback, you're not able to accept it. And possibly you lose your confidence or you start defending whatever work you have done. If that is you, then stay on and watch this video carefully because I'm going to share with you how you can receive feedback gracefully. Hi, I'm Nidhi, a communication skills trainer here to help you communicate effectively. So in my last video, I shared about how you can give effective feedback. But feedback is not just about giving. Somebody is receiving it, and many times it can be you on the receiving end. And if that feedback is really critical, it is not easy to accept it. Let me help you to understand how you can take and receive feedback constructively and use it for your benefit. Are you ready? Stay on. The most important while receiving feedback is that you should listen to understand it. Don't prepare your mind to react. Please listen to understand the feedback. You need to be an active listener. And if you want to understand how active listening works, you can go back to one of my previous videos and you can find how to be an active listener, because that is what's going to help you to accept feedback gracefully. Now, many times people really find it difficult to give feedback also for a reason because they feel they might hurt the other person, or possibly they might not be able to take the feedback that's being given. So if you are on the receiving end, ensure not to be defensive. You do not have to defend every part of your work or every feedback that is being shared with you. It's perfectly fine. Just let yourself absorb that feedback rather than defending it. You being defensive, angry, or possibly justifying about your work would only make others uncomfortable and unwilling to give you any feedback henceforth. So think very carefully, do you really need to be defensive? Sometimes we do not accept feedback because we become very judgmental of the person who is giving that feedback to us. So it's okay, just absorb the feedback again. Do not be judgmental because maybe this particular feedback that you're receiving is helpful for your personal and professional growth. Now, every time when I'm telling you to absorb the feedback, that time that you take to absorb is actually the time when you're reflecting on the feedback. So reflect on the feedback and summarize the feedback to the person who has given it to you. That way, you're avoiding any kind of misunderstanding and you're also clarifying whatever doubts you have. And that leads to the next one. Ask questions for clarifications. If you have not understood some part of the feedback, ask questions, ask and seek for examples from the person who has given you the feedback about how you can improve. That helps the person to be more specific and that allows you to understand better where you are lacking or where there is scope for improvement. And yes, very important, please make notes about it because making those notes also helps you to not forget it. For effectively accepting feedback and using it to improve yourself further, ensure that you've written down everything that has been told to you. Make your notes and your points so that you can implement them further. This one is really important and this also relates to the first point that I said. Be open and approachable. Sometimes we do not realize our body language, our facial expressions while we are receiving feedback. Whatever our emotions are, sometimes it's very much visible in the way we react. So we need to be very much aware of our reactions and our responses because that plays a very important role in how you're receiving feedback. Now, these were some very simple ways how you can receive feedback effectively and with dignity. Do remember that accepting the feedback and using it in a constructive way is all in your hands. So after you receive feedback, ensure and identify where and how you can implement and use that feedback henceforth. Also, you can just go ahead and take feedback on the similar task from some other people too. That allows you to have a better understanding about how you need to grow personally or professionally. But whatever it is, do not ignore the feedback that comes to you because that feedback is definitely for your growth. Do share with me if these tips help you to receive feedback in a positive manner, and do stay connected so that you know when I upload my next video. And for that, all you need to do is subscribe to my channel if you've not done that right now. See you soon.